G'day guys and welcome back to round number 3 of the Last of First World Championship. Sorry, I don't know why I did that in a French accent. Anyway, welcome back to round number 3. If you did miss the previous round, firstly, how could you? That really hurts my feelings. And secondly, go and check it out right now so you understand exactly what's going on and that you don't hurt my feelings. Who are we driving as today? Well, the screen might be a bit of a giveaway, but let's find out what happened in qualifying for this race. Qualifying time in Aussie land, driving on board with Shock Oscar Piastri at his home race. Currently Perez on course for pole position. Not a bad qualifying for young Oscar, the rookie, in only his 3rd Formula 1 race. So if we come around the final, what's he doing? He's trying to gain time. What?
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we
Hang on, what? What do you mean? Well, that kind of schoolboy error really did deserve a detention. Even my team thought so. They were like, you hit the pit wall. Pillock. It's a shocker for Oscar at his home race. Well, we'll have to explain that one later, but Lando Norris, good job on him. My teammate getting in the top 10, even in a car that is really rather draggy. Does manage to beat out one of the Alpines. He's in an Alpine sandwich, actually. They'll surrender out of his way, though. No problem at all. Sergio Perez has turned Max Verstappen's world upside down. He claimed pole position. Meanwhile, we're last. Listen, okay, I have the brain literally the size of Andromeda. You don't understand. I was up to 11th going through the pit lane. I thought that would have gained me more time. But the FIA and indeed my team didn't see the funny side of it. And now I have last place and egg on my face. Alonso getting 4th, by the way. That is way more representative of the pace we should have seen of the Aston Martin, beating both Mercedes and in the middle of the Ferraris. Hopefully, he can get his championship challenge back on track here in Australia. But for us, we have it all to do from, once again, Shock plumb lost. But I'm sure we won't be going home with the wooden spoon. We'll be going home with... Oh, do you know what? Stop. Anyway, 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. Go out now. And it's time for the Australian Grand Prix Last of First Challenge. And it's actually not a great start. The AI do keep up with us for once, but we're going to send one down the inside. First class. A little bit of a lock on the rear axle, but we do manage to draw alongside the Haas of Nico Hülkenberg, using the slipstream, but McLaren draggy in a straight line. The Haas absolutely pulls away, but down the inside of a bunch of cars. Bottas dispatched of, and Albon not getting a great, turns in on us. What? He completely swipes us, and we say, no, sir, get rinsed. Round the outside we go into P13, and while the straight line speed of that Williams is great, we launch it through this car. Okay, listen, that right there, that's an esports line. You don't understand. But now it's a case of just settling into a rhythm and turning the F1 circus really on its head, or not. Albon's got a great little slipstream. The McLaren not proving great, but we actually use our big brain. Get back in the slipstream, down the inside of the chicane. We're going to cut him off at the right-hander. He loses a whole heap of time, and Bottas is going to be fighting him. No damage on our car after the contact earlier with Albon after that suicidal swipe. But we do maintain P13 as we come on to the 2nd lap now. Our next target is Pierre Gasly, and as you can see, we have some incredible pace. We've actually gone with a setup once again with higher downforce, just like we did in Bahrain. The McLaren seems to just love having downforce, which is something they could really learn from, to be honest. I don't know why their engineers haven't quite figured it out. Anyway, look, listen. We are going to be trying to catch Gasly, but in a straight line. We are being left for a bag of chips, and we're out of DRS range already. Not that it matters, obviously, because DRS isn't enabled. Stupid. But, you know, it's not ideal when we're having to try and lap up that slipstream. Once again, like my big cat. Look at the size of that boy. If anything, he's actually trimmed out a little bit. Well done.
I'm a ticking time bomb of fat.
My cat's intergalactic BMI aside, that's not the point. Actually, what the point is Magnussen was fighting out with Norris up ahead. Magnussen's having an incredible first few laps. He really is turning the F1 circus topsy-turvy. Haas fighting for points as Red Bull trade fastest laps. Verstappen and Perez having a ding-dong battle up at the front here. And it could get very saucy down under as we have DRS enabled. And Gasly is our next target up the road. In fact, it's where Haas scored the majority of their points this season here in Australia. And where Oscar scored his first points in Formula 1. We have to bide our time. Hopefully, we can get past Gasly very soon and really start our progress up the field. Lap number 3 still. What's cooking? Not us. In fact, there were battles going on up ahead at the front, but we are still behind Gasly as we've been in the DRS train. We've actually gapped Albon, though, and I'm sniffing a bit of a move. As this train backs itself up, we're going to launch one to the inside. We lock the rear, slide the rear out, make Gasly very interested indeed. In fact, so interested, he gets distracted by our rear end antics. Hanging one out there at the edge of the corner, and we are up into P12. So actually, the move comes off brilliantly, and now we have to get after... Huh? What's going on? What?
Got an issue with their car. They're going to be
No, you cannot be serious. There is no way someone could be that unlucky. Alonso, with car problems last race towards the end of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, his race has not had his fortunes turned on its head. His engine has decided to cause him problems once again here in Australia as Magnussen goes for the move on Norris round the outside, and he might actually complete this. The outside line's been very good. We try a switchback. It's not going to happen. Norris overtaken by the Haas man, and I say, I'm sorry, teammate, but we're going to have to dispatch of him ourselves to the inside. Rear shimmy to get him all flummoxed, and he gets so flummoxed, the Alpine gets him as well. Up into P11 on the fringes of the points, and the next target is small fry, easy prey, Plankton again. It's Kevin Magnussen this time as opposed to Gasly, who also is now harrying our slipstream. But as we get a great exit out of the first couple of corners, using that slipstream, hogging the oxygen as we brake hard into turn 3, hugging the apex. Magnussen makes a mistake, and we are through into the points already. Lap number 5, a third through this race at the Australian Grand Prix, and we are making scintillating progress. Our next target is Lance Stroll and even Esteban Ocon, as they're going to start being held up by Fernando Alonso, who has problems, as I mentioned before, if you weren't actually listening. So, let's see what happens. Lap 6 of the Australian Grand Prix, and while we seem to have it all under control, Gasly's making us very nervous. He laps up the slipstream, hogs it like a demon, but we do manage to keep the solitary point to our name, and we will for the rest of this lap. Spoiler, because this section here is where we absolutely fly. The downforce, the grip, we go wide there. That derails my point completely. But the point is, the downforce and the grip of this McLaren through the fast right-hander means we gap him by another 10th. He's actually about 8 tenths behind as we get to the DRS detection and DRS opening point. But this is our Achilles heel as you hear the car skating across the track, completely bottoming out. The wood itself, I'm surprised, is not completely lacerating the track or burning Gasly behind like a flamethrower. He actually was 3 tenths behind. We go wide again. Really not ideal. We need to keep it together as again the DRS, he's only 3 tenths, nearly 2 tenths behind us, but we do keep a solitary point to our name. Luckily, we do gap him enough in the corners. But while we're having some nervous moments, Verstappen's having nervous moments as time stops to realise Perez is making an overtake. Surely not. Around the outside of his teammate, as they've been battling super hard. It's actually brought Sainz into the battle, who's been keeping a watching brief. Perez to the inside, squeezes his teammate. Verstappen keeps the outside line, has the momentum, but makes a mistake mid-corner, so it gives Perez the opportunity again with DRS. He goes to the inside, but look who it is! It's Carlos Sainz. Here comes the Spaniard sliding round the outside, and it's a super move. It's a double overtake for the lead. Ferrari are absolutely prancing like no other today. Look at them go. They actually do have a spring in their step down under, as we are now catching up. Alonso, Ocon, and Stroll. My God, it's all happening here in Australia. Tense battles for the championship lead. Meanwhile, here for the solitary points-paying positions, we're finding pace like no other. We're in the DRS train once again, but we've brought Gasly and Magnussen into it, actually. We've horse and carriaged them into the fray, as DRS is wide open, but you can see our straight line speed just isn't good enough. We can't make the most of the pace we have, especially in a straight line, which I've said about 1,000,000 times before. Stupid! Sorry, I keep calling you stupid. Anyway, look. Dazzling camera angle, Alonso and Ocon having a battle up ahead, the two teammates, no love lost between them clearly. I thought the outside would open up for Stroll, it didn't happen, so we have to bide our time even more through the right-hander. The gap will open up to the inside, which we take, a bit of a lock-up, but this time we do keep it together. Stroll is flummoxed, we take P9 as we enter the pit lane, and now comes the time when we need the best pit stop in the world from the McLaren mechanics, something they've been good at, an optimal turn-in. So, let's see what we can do. Can we jump Ocon? It doesn't look likely. In fact, we face through reality to try and get him, pip him to the post. But, in good news, we do get ahead of Alonso. Bad news, we don't actually hit our pet limiter. Okay, interesting. My pet needs limits. He eats a whole skip of food every day, but the FIA didn't see that, so it's okay. Now is the time where we need to stay with Ocon and really extract the pace out of this McLaren as much as possible. DRS wide open. He had DRS open, actually, because he got the detection from Alonso before he came into pit through this section, gaining about a 10th in itself through the left-hander, which is fantastic. We have more confidence to hurl the car into the right-hander and watch it stick, which it does through the right-hander. Fantastic pace once again. Only 4/10, just over half a second, separating us and the Alpine of Esteban Ocon, who surely will be there. Will be waving his white flag very soon. Magnussen, meanwhile, behind, is getting past Alonso. The big battle between those two. The Haas trying to get back into his points-paying positions. In fact, improve his positions on merit. Meanwhile, we still have DRS on the Alpine. Caution, yellow flag. What on earth's going on up ahead? It's Perez. Perez has come off. It's not a mechanical failure. He's made a mistake. He must have done. Unless Sainz hit him, we're going to see what happened here on the replay. Sainz with DRS to the outside of Perez, puts the pressure on. Perez seems to have it under control. In fact, pushes Sainz out, but he spins. Oh my goodness, he does it on his own. Perez completely misjudges how much power he has. The car was long gone. But he tries to get the car corrected, but unfortunately for him, doesn't flick spin it. A very weird decision, but he's now egg-faced, facing the wall. What a pillock. But this could be bad news here for Alonso, as he overtakes Magnussen in the yellow flag zone. Oh, I mean, oh goodness, the stewards must have something to say about this, right? Right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the FIA actually do get a decision right for once. Alonso gets slapped, as you can see, with a 5-second penalty. There he is, for ignoring yellow flags. Naughty boy, naughty pensioner. His cortex has eroded so much, he's forgotten the rules of the sport, and his season starts going from bad to worse as Magnussen dispatches of the Aston Martin. His car gremlins still haven't gone away here on lap number 9 of the Grand Prix, as we are in hot pursuit of the Alpine. For now, we're just going to wait in the slipstream, though, as Sargent, who was running in P7, bloody hell. I mean, granted, he did have to pit, so it's actually not that impressive. But fair play, he did his best. And suddenly up ahead, there's another yellow flag. What on earth's going on? This is crazy. It's Australian annihilation. Oh, it's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, who's made a catastrophic error. He's hit his teammate. His teammate coming out of the pits on cold, hard tyres. He should have left room, and Leclerc should have judged it better. And as you can see, Russell had great awareness. Leclerc with no front ring. Russell switchbacks the Ferrari. No front wing on Leclerc, and he's surely out of this race. It looks like the damage is terminal, and suddenly we go from fighting for a net P6 to P5. Double figures. There's another yellow flag. What on earth is going on down under? No. No way. No way. You are joking. It gets worse. It gets even worser. Fernando Alonso is out of the Australian Grand Prix. A smokescreen for his teammate Stroll, which really, let's be honest, doesn't really make a difference. If you've seen how badly he drives, Alonso kissed the wall in frustration. That's not a word, but really, what can you say? Disappointment down under for the Spaniard means even more to capitalise on for Oscar Piastri. Here, the battle is really heating up between us and Ocon. We are hot on his heels. There's steam if you look close enough at the Alpine, as he gets very hot under the collar. We're going to lap up the slipstream with DRS. This is the closest we've been. And my wheel disconnects. My wheel disconnects. Listen, okay, when I press Y and overtake at the same time, so DRS and overtake, it just changes the mode. Don't ask why. Anyway, we're back. Oh my goodness. As quick as I flummoxed it, we are back hot on the heels. We're going to start fracking away at his engine. We're going to really extract the potential of this car as we hesitate into turn 1, because surely the move will be done into turn number 3. DRS. Oh, but this could be turn number 3, actually, because it's not actually a straight. Who knows anymore? Down the inside. He squares off our line. We get it wrong. We get it all crossed up. We slide the rear out, make contact to the outside of turn 4, though. It's done. It is done. P5. Oh, my goodness me. What drama and what battles in the Australian Grand Prix. We shouldn't have been this high up at all. Perez, Leclerc, Alonso all fell by the wayside. We passed the stricken Spaniard. Sorry, mate. Got a race to do. See you later. Unlucky. This could have been your place had you not broken the rules and been a general stupid idiot. Too bad. P5 is ours. Double figures worth of points. And it looks like, just like real life history, will repeat itself. And as Oscar Piastri, we will claim his first points of the season. There's hard battling going on ahead as well. Russell and Sainz, Squeaky's back. My God, I don't even care, actually. P5, it's been an amazing Australian Grand Prix. All we need to do now is get a second ahead of Ocon to really cherry off this well-decorated cake. Oh, it's not even close. It is not even close. I think we might have given him damage, I'll be honest with you. Oh, well. That's the sound of me not caring, really. So I think, to be honest with you, we can now take it nice and easy for the rest of this race. Last lap of the Grand Prix, we were untouchable to those behind us. And, well, to those ahead of us, they were untouchable, so we couldn't get anywhere near them. But still battling, it's Russell and Sainz on the last lap. Russell claims P2. That'll be his second consecutive second place of the season. 3 podiums. Meanwhile, it's domination down under. Max Verstappen wins by an astronomical amount. The full 25 points are collected on his account. Meanwhile, for us, we write history just like this season in real life. It's going to be 5th place for Oscar Piastri. What a drive it was. What drama at this amazing Australian race. And I'm going to need a lie down because there was so much that happened. Driver of the day. What a drive from us. Wow. Woo!
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. Natalie, fill us in. What was it that helped the team achieve their success today?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they've secured here.
You've got to say, there really is no catching Max Verstappen. Apparently, just like real life at the moment, he seems imperious. Another win for the Red Bull team. Another win to Max Verstappen's collection down under. Meanwhile, Carlos Sainz gives Ferrari his and Ferrari's first podium of the season. Russell being consistent as ever. Another podium. Mercedes with a great strategy and great pace. Hamilton in 4th as well. But they drink nothing once again. And we've got to say, that was absolutely crazy. There's no other word for it. Complete insanity, Australia. It really was a topsy-turvy affair. We get 5th place. Lando gets 7th. Great points haul for the McLaren team. Mercedes also an incredible points haul. They get the best points tally of any team this weekend. And look, we have to say, firstly, well done Kevin Magnussen. My goodness me, what a drive from him to secure P6 and Haas's first points of the entire season. Gasly again in 8th place, really consistent from the Frenchman. Ocon gets into the points despite having front wing damage, I can confirm, which we gave him, so not sorry. Albon's so close to the points, that'll be so agonising for him, but that Williams clearly has some good pace under his right and left feet. And his hands as well, I guess. He's pretty good with those. While we got 10 points today as Oscar Piastri, giving him some proper credit in this championship, and Norris helping to give McLaren an extra boost. My goodness me, what on earth happened? Capitulations from 3 of the big 4 teams and 3 of their drivers. Perez with the spin, who finished plumb last behind De Vries. De Vries, how are you so slow, by the way, to be nearly, what, half a second slower than Sargent? You are something else, my friend. My God, we're going to have to do some hauling for you. But Alonso, ignoring the yellow flag, engine issues, and out of this race. Leclerc, luckless here in Australia. Unbelievable, and that's inevitably and evidently what gave us that extra advantage here in Australia. My goodness, what drama it was. And I can't wait to see what the next race might bring, because you know where we're heading next. If this was crazy, then who knows what on earth will happen in Baku. But before we end off, let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship standings. Verstappen, the reigning champion, on a nice number of points, leading George Russell, who's been ever consistent, on 52 points. Perez drops down to third with Sainz hot on his heels after that podium. Hamilton doubles his points tally to claim fifth, and you can see the rest of the results from there. But it's Piastri, Magnussen and Ocon who get their names on the board, with Piastri and Magnussen in particular being the massive winners out there in Australia. In the Constructors, Red Bull have a very healthy lead again, but Perez not getting in the points and making mistakes means Mercedes do catch up. Ferrari have a comfortable third place, McLaren cementing fourth place easily, Aston Martin underperforming hugely. They'll be hoping that they don't repeat the performance of Australia in the next race. Who knows what will happen though, as Alpine are catching them up and Haas get their name on the board. Still drivers yet to score points. Who knows what will happen? Will it be anarchy in Azerbaijan? You'll just have to wait and see. So until we really rack up the air miles and head to Azerbaijan, I thank you for watching round number 3 of the Last to First Championship. What an absolutely insane race. So much happened out there. And if you did enjoy the insanity, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel so I know that you enjoy my content, and therefore also you won't miss an upload at all of this championship or any other videos yet to come. Also hit that notification bell so you are absolutely doubly sure you don't miss a single upload. But until the next round, who knows what craziness will happen? That'll be for you to find out. But until then, I thank you again for watching. And until next time, I'll see you soon.